My mystery choice novel is Fiona Barton's The Child. There's Fiona Barton in the left-hand corner. So, The Child is about a journalist named Kate Waters who investigates the unusual circumstances surrounding a baby skeleton turning up at a London flat. There on both sides you can see the cover title. Here's the plot summary. Fiona Barton writes this novel in an unusual way. There are 5 narrators in the novel who play an important part. It flips between them in first and third person, but really, while there are 5 who play an important part, there are 3 who flip frequently between the 3 of them and are the main characters. First, there's Kate, who is an old school journalist who doesn't like new media. There is Angela, who is old and lost her daughter many years ago. And then there is Emma and Jude. Jude is like the 4th kind of odd narrator, but Emma's the important, 3rd narrator. Emma's big thing is she's carrying a dark secret. The first 15 chapters mainly serve to introduce the characters and their reaction to hearing about the dead baby. In this section, Kate becomes fully involved with the case, seemingly shoving all aside. Her colleague tells her of a missing baby in the 1970s whose mother is later revealed to be Angela. Kate goes to interview Angela, and Angela recounts how the baby was stolen right out of her hospital basket while Angela was in the shower. Kate asks Angela if she recognizes anyone from the old tenant list where the building was found. I probably should have mentioned this before, but Kate was anonymously tipped off by Emma that the old tenant list might hold some clues. But she only recognizes last name Walker as Barbara Walker, who still lives across the street. Kate's colleague, who was mentioned earlier, nicknamed the Crime Man, then tells Angela and Kate that the baby is in fact Angela's. So Angela is obviously relieved because the baby is hers, but at the same time she's sad because her baby is dead. So Kate and her newspaper trainee Joe go to meet the current landlord of the building, but sadly she just bought the place so she doesn't know much. So she says that they should go meet Mr. Soames, who's very old and very creepy. So when Kate gets there, he just kind of ogles her and they find him very off. Whenever she finds an envelope labeled parties, she asks if she can open it. Since Soames is so old, he agrees. Whenever she opens it, she finds Polaroids of naked, seemingly underage girls. Kate deduces these girls were date raped. Emma lies to Paul about going to the doctor to meet up with her old friend, Harry. It is then revealed Emma had a baby when she was 14, which Harry believed was aborted. And Emma knows that's not true, but the reader, us, doesn't know that's not happened to the baby yet. Switching to Kate, she's invited to a disco ball where she runs into Barbara, the woman Angela recognized on the tenants list, and Kate recognized her face on one of Soames' Polaroids. She also runs into Emma, who as they're chatting reveals her mom's name is Jude. And Kate remembers on the tenant list is a girl named Emma living with her mom named Jude. So Kate questions her, and Emma once she's interrogated, she really wants to go somewhere and talk. And then once they go somewhere and talk, Emma starts to realize that Kate is actually a friend, so she starts to open up. So Emma basically tells Kate everything. What happened was Emma was raped by her stepfather when she found one of the naked girl's Polaroids in his desk. Then he said she'd better never say a word, then raped her to shame her into silence. She then became pregnant, and when the baby was born, she buried it right where the baby's skeleton was recently found. It is later revealed that the woman in the photo, which Emma found in Will's desk, was actually Barbara. When Emma tells Jude, she doesn't believe her. Obviously, they have a terrible relationship. Emma and Kate then drive to confront Will, who calls her mentally ill, but they hold their resolve and say they're going to police. And this is where the fifth narrator comes in, Will. And in the short narration, we learn he actually did do the crime and that he actually did rape Emma. Kate and Emma go to the police station to report all their findings, and the crime man tells Emma the DNA test on the baby was a match, and it was Emma's. So now the baby matches both Emma and Angela. Now we have a mystery. There, Emma also sees a Polaroid picture while going through the evidence. But she recognizes a hand in her picture in the Polaroid, Paul's hand, and remembers Paul took her to a party when Soames walked by her and groped her breast, and then she woke up the next morning not remembering what happened after that. It all comes together. Will and Soames were in fact partners, and when Emma found one of their Polaroids, Will raped her so that she would be silent about it. But there was still one question: whose baby was it? And both had Angela and Emma's DNA. Then whenever Kate was just sitting down and thinking about it, an epiphany hit her. Emma and Angela's daughter are the same person. What happened was Jude had a miscarriage 5 months into the pregnancy, but hid it from her boyfriend as she was obsessed with him. So she thought the only way he would stay with her was a baby. So while in the hospital, while he was out of town, she faked labor and then took a baby the first baby she saw in an open room, which happened to be Angela's. So once Emma finds this out, Emma, Angela, and Angela's husband all reunite, and Emma finally gets the family she has always wanted. So there's the plot of The Child. The novel, at least to me, is very similar to The Godfather, which is one of my favorite books. Both novels are so well written, intricate, and the characters are very relatable. I also relate to the character Kate, as she's very stubborn and something I still struggle with. I personally thought this book was advanced academically and would definitely pose a challenge if someone wasn't invested in it. It was just so long, there were so many characters, and even going through this narration, I struggled keeping track of all the characters, how many intricacies there were, and how in-depth it was. But her writing style of having multiple narrators makes the work more complicated, but ultimately more in-depth and intricate. Here are my final thoughts. I honestly haven't read a book this good since The Godfather. Just the way the book ropes you in is something I haven't experienced in a novel in a while. I would highly recommend for anyone who's up for a challenging read but looking for an excellent story.